The average Canadian is better off without insurance when it comes to paying for their medical expenses. So what's the alternative to no insurance or an insurance plan? Most entrepreneurs, most small businesses in Canada, they don't know the alternative. The alternative is a health spending account. And what is a health spending account, for those of you that are unaware? When you get rid of all the marketing and you just take a look at what a health spending account is, it's incredibly simple. It's a tax plan. In fact, it's one of the most cost-effective, unadvertised tax plans in the Income Tax Act. And what it is it's a contract between a corporation or an employer and the owner of that corporation. And what the contract says is that instead of you paying for your eyeglasses on your own, out with your own personal dollars, instead of you paying for your child's orthodontics on your own with your own personal dollars, you can use a health spending account and have your business pay for your medical expenses. So put in another way, a health spending account is a way for an entrepreneur, for a business owner, to take money out of their company tax-free to pay for all of their medical expenses. And at the same time, the business is able to write off that expense. It's a pretty powerful product. It's probably the best kept secret in Canada when it comes to saving entrepreneurs and small business owners taxes. This is probably the holy grail slide of the presentation. It's going to illustrate exactly how much this family would save if they were to spend $3,000 personally versus $3,000 through a health spending account. So on the left-hand side, we have the situation where the family has no health spending account. How much would it cost them? Well, we already went over that. It would cost their business $5,000 gross because they pay tax of 40%, $2,000. They're left with $3,000 after tax to pay for their medical expenses. That's an after-tax medical expense. What happens when we have a health spending account? That after-tax personal expense becomes a before-tax business expense. So what happens here is you're not paying 43% income tax. You're paying an annual fee to the administrator of your health spending account, let's say Olympia. That's the cost of our health spending account for the year. So on a $3,000 medical expense, at a 43% tax bracket, the company would save over $2,000 in taxes. The average client at Olympia saves over 40% on their medical expenses when they switch to a health spending account. And this is why. If you don't have a health spending account, you're paying for your medical expenses personally. If you do have a health spending account, you're paying for your medical expenses through your company. This is kind of the crystallizing concept of the product right here. Why would you pay for expenses personally when you can run them through your company? Same idea. This is just a quick visual summary of what we talked about. The Brown family, or it could be your family. If you get insurance, it's going to cost you around $10,000 a year. Out of pocket $5,000, health spending account around $3,300. You are mathematically guaranteed to save money by paying for medical expenses through a health spending account. Now, you might not know me well enough to believe me, but you are mathematically guaranteed to save money by paying expenses through the health spending account. So the next question would be, well, what can I claim with a health spending account? The short answer is virtually any medical expense. You can claim anything that is related to you medically. The only exceptions are something that's purely cosmetic. So if you take a look, I have Invisalign on, that's a cosmetic expense, but it's eligible because it obviously has an underlying medical component to it. So one of the nice parts about a health spending account is that you can claim almost any medical expense, 100% of it. This screen is very important as well. This would be, how do I make a claim? So if you had a health spending account at your company, how would it look? Mrs. Brown has a claim. Her son has a $100 dental bill. How is that going to work? There's 4 steps to making a claim. The first one is that you pay the provider upfront personally. So some of you are wearing reading glasses right now. You would pay them for those reading glasses personally for $500, let's say. The next step is you submit the claim. You submit the claim to your administrator. You submit it to Olympia. That completes the employee part of the equation. That completes your part of the equation. Now, in order to get the write-off for your company, we need to involve your business. So your business would send Olympia a payment, or the administrator payment for $500. This creates the tax deduction for the company. Olympia then reimburses $500 directly into your bank account. All of the funds that you receive from Olympia are 100% tax-free. All of the funds that your company sends to Olympia, your company gets to write off. So it's a win for the business, and it's a win for you. Again, the benefit is 100% tax-free to you, 100% tax deductible for the employer. You can't list too many bonuses these days where the government doesn't get their hands involved with. This is 100% tax-free. Just to kind of illustrate this again, if the Brown family earned $100,000 in 2016 and they paid for their $3,000 out of pocket, that would be 2016. If they had that $3,000 run through a health spending account in 2017, they wouldn't have to pay tax on the full $100,000. They would only pay tax on $97,000. So imagine you're in a 40% tax rate. You're paying 40% less tax on $3,000. You save $1,500 to $2,000 in taxes. This is kind of another way to visualize it. You all know when you go to an ATM and you take out $20, it doesn't cost you $20, it costs your bank account $25 because there's a service fee. The health spending account is the same idea. If you have a business and you try and take $20 out of your business, or $100 out of your business, or $3,000 out of your business, it doesn't cost $3,000. It doesn't cost $100. It doesn't cost $20 because you have to pay tax on that withdrawal. What a health spending account does is it lets you go up to your company, take $20 out, and it only costs your company $20. That extra $5 service fee or tax stays in your company. So that's kind of the way that I describe a health spending account is it lets someone take money out of their ATM or out of their company without any fees. So the government doesn't tax you on those withdrawals. So depending on your tax rate, you can save quite a bit of money. How do you qualify, or do you qualify? So if you own a business, if you pay income tax, and if you have medical expenses, you automatically qualify for a health spending account. It's not insurance. It doesn't depend on your age. It doesn't depend on your health. It's a tax plan. It's a very cost-effective tax plan for small businesses. That's what a health spending account is. That concludes sort of the first part of the presentation, the first perspective. Remember I told you I was going to present this from the perspective of a family business or a small business, no employees. This last part is going to be from the perspective of a group. So let's imagine you have that business and now they have a staff. So some of you raised your hand, you said you work at a company with other employees. This would be the perspective for you. So what are some of the pain points of group health and dental insurance? If I'm an owner and I have 5 staff members, what are some of the pain points I experience? What are some of the pain points my staff experience? In 10 to 15 years working in this industry, I've met with thousands and thousands of business owners, and here's the 3 most common pain points that I've found when it comes to health and dental insurance. The first is cost control, or rising costs of health and dental insurance. You go into business for yourself, you become an entrepreneur because you want control. You've got an idea, you want control, you're in charge of your destiny. With insurance, it's not uncommon for the cost of that insurance plan to go up by 50, 75, or 100%. So if you work at a company with 5 employees and you're paying $2,500 a month in premiums, it's not uncommon the next year to pay $3,000, $3,500, or $4,000 a month in premiums because the insurance company raises the cost of those premiums. So the number one pain point for entrepreneurs, for small business owners in Canada with insurance is cost control. Costs keep going up and I can't do anything about it. One of my employees gets diabetes, my kid needs braces, my premiums go up, I can't do anything about it. Number one pain point. Number 2, a lot of you are wearing eyeglasses. How many of you have gone to pay for your reading glasses and had 100% of it covered? You know full well when you go to get your reading glasses that there's always an out-of-pocket charge. Sometimes it could be $500 or more. The second biggest pain point for insurance is coverage. You don't get the coverage you expect you're going to get. Most insurance companies will offer $250 to $300 every 2 years or 3 years for reading glasses. Frames cost $500, lenses cost $300, an eye exam costs $100. You go to get your reading glasses, you're left with a $300 to $400 bill. You've got a daughter, she needs to get braces. They're $8,000. The insurance company pays $1,500. The second biggest pain point for owners of companies, for entrepreneurs, for staff is there's no coverage or there's lack of coverage. Why am I paying for this when I already have insurance? The last pain point is you see a picture of a square peg trying to go into a round hole. I'm not here to talk negatively about health and dental insurance for all companies, but I do think that there is a serious issue with health and dental insurance for small companies of say 1 to 10 employees, 1 to 20 employees. Plan design. Insurance for a 100-person company or a 1,000-person company, why would that insurance plan fit for a company with 3 employees? It doesn't make sense. So another big complaint from businesses that I've heard across the country is plan design. The flexibility is not there. I have a company with 5 employees. I have a company with 10 employees. I'm a solopreneur. This plan doesn't feel right for me. This plan is the same plan as the business across the street that has 5,000 employees. So flexibility is a big concern with insurance plans for small businesses. So how does the health spending account address these pain points? It really comes down to classifications. So we're using an example of a company with 5 employees. In that company, you're going to have different categories of employees. You're going to have an owner, you're going to have a manager, and you're going to have some staff members. A health spending account, first thing is it gives control to the employer. The employer designs the plan around their needs, not the insurance company. So that deal addresses plan design. The health spending account, the design of it is up to the owner of the business, not the insurance company. Second, coverage. 100% of medical expenses are covered in a health spending account. Second point, coverage. No more 80% covered, no more 50%, no more deductibles. And the first one is cost control. So how does a health spending account work with cost? How does it work? The owner of the company is going to establish a little health spending account for each category of employee. In this example, I have the owner giving themselves $10,000 per year, office manager $2,500, and full-time $1,000. What that means is, if I could just say, let's say you're the staff, I'm the owner, this is my manager, I give myself $10,000 a year, I give you $1,000 per year, I give Michelle $2,500 per year. What that means is you all have $1,000 per year funded by me that you can spend on any medical expense you want. It's not restricted by the type of expense, the category, It's just the dollar value. You have your own little health spending account to manage. It's 100% tax-free to you, meaning it's not counted as part of your income. And I get to write off these contributions because I'm the owner, I'm the employer. So the staff love it because it's easy to understand, there's no restrictions, and it's tax-free. If I were to give you a Christmas bonus of $1,000, you wouldn't keep that $1,000, you'd keep $700. If I give you $1,000 with a health spending account, you keep $1,000. So it's a non-taxable employee benefit. As the owner, I love it because I get cost certainty. I know that I'm not going to spend more than the amount that I budget per year. So if I offer each of you $1,000, I know that I'm not going to spend more than, say, $10,000. There's no premiums with a health spending account, so I'm always in control of how much I spend. So here are the main points of consideration of a health spending account. There's no premiums. So remember, the idea here is, why should you consider a health spending account at your organization? There's no premiums, meaning you're in control of the cost of your plan. There's a wide range of expenses and deep range of expenses that are covered. So 100% of all orthodontics, all dental, all medical. So the second big point is coverage. The last one is it's easy to understand. This is a tax plan, it's not insurance, right? Insurance, when you join a new policy, it's a 70-page booklet explaining the conditions and the criteria. This is a tax plan. It's very easy to understand. There's no deductibles. So when you go to pay for your reading glasses, you're paid back for 100% of your reading glasses. And lastly, health spending account claims are processed within a day. There's no insurance filing, there's no turnaround time. It's processed overnight. So just to kind of conclude here, why you should consider a health spending account at your organization comes down to 3 points. Savings. It is the most cost-effective way to pay for medical expenses in Canada. Most of our clients are saving upwards of 40% on every dollar. If you have a family of 4, spending $3,000 a year, you're going to save up to $2,000 or more dollars per year on your medical expenses. Second big point is coverage. Health spending account provides 100% reimbursement for any medical expense. There are no exclusions. There are no conditions. This is not related to your health. If you have diabetes, if you have extended dental, if you're 70 years or older, that will not impact your coverage. Lastly is design. You design, or the company designs the product, not the administrator, not the insurance company. And I think for those 3 reasons, it's why it's been positioned as a nice alternative to pay for medical expenses for small business owners across Canada. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for attending. Here's my contact information. Feel free to send me an email or give me a call if you want to know more about this product. I won't sell you on the Olympia HSA. I can continue to educate you on what a health spending account is. It's a great product. Of our 40,000 clients, about 99% of them are 1 to 10, 1 to 15 employees. If you work at a company that size, feel free to give me a call. 90% of our business are one-person companies. So that's the real special of this product. It's for a lot of the solopreneurs. It's for a lot of those micro companies across Canada. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.